Do you want your Thanksgiving dinner to be stress-free? Let me show you some dishes that you can prep ahead. Come on, let's get started.
Todo queda sabroso.
It's important when you're prepping for Thanksgiving dinner that you prepare those dishes that take the longest. And I'm starting with the candied yams. So I'm peeling about 4 pounds of sweet potatoes. Now I know that seems like a lot, but in my family, it is one of those side dishes that everyone loves, so I gotta make a lot of it. So when I think back on my culinary journey, one of the first things I realized was that I hate peeling potatoes. Okay, now that our potatoes are peeled, I'm just going to cut them into about 1/2 inch slices. Okay, so in a large stock pot, I'm going to add panela, which is a brown sugar cane, and it comes in either cone shape or these round discs. This is 16 ounces. I'm also going to add guava paste that I simply cut into cubes, just so that it melts quicker. Okay, I also have 4 cinnamon sticks, 2 sticks of butter, and this is because I'm doing 4 pounds of potatoes. I'm also adding 2 cups of orange juice, as well as 2 cups of water. And I'm just going to add a pinch of salt. To this, I'm going to add the cut sweet potatoes. I'm going to put a lid on this and then simmer it on low for about 1 hour to 1.5 hours until the potatoes are nice and tender and that liquid has reduced to a syrup. Okay, now we're going to start our cornbread for our cornbread stuffing. First thing I want to do is preheat the oven to 375. Now, normally when you do cornbread, it's a combination of cornmeal and flour, but whenever I do a cornbread stuffing, I like just using cornmeal because it has a better texture, meaning it'll hold up against all the remaining stuffing ingredients like the sausage and the vegetables and the chicken stock. And so an all cornmeal cornbread will hold up much better than if you add a combination of cornmeal and flour. And this is 2 pounds or 4 cups of cornmeal. Okay, to that I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. I'm going to add a teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda. Give that a quick whisk. Incorporate those ingredients. Okay, I'm realizing I need to use a bigger bowl. Okay, switching to a bigger bowl. Okay, now that our dry ingredients are incorporated, I'm adding 4 eggs, 2 cups of buttermilk. You can use regular milk, but who doesn't love buttermilk? And then I have some manteca or pork lard. This is the Morel Snowcat brand. And I like using this because it has that pork flavor, and because I'm using sausage, it just makes sense. But you can substitute butter, and this is 1 cup. Okay, now we're going to slowly whisk all those ingredients together until we get a nice batter. Switching to a spatula, just going to bring everything together, making sure everything's incorporated. Now I want this on the dry side, but if you feel like it's too dry, you could always add a little bit more of that buttermilk. But the reason why I want it dry is because I really want it to soak up all the goodness that's coming later. Okay, so I have a baking dish that I grease with that same pork lard, and I'm just going to add my cornbread mixture. We're just going to spread this out. Okay, now this is ready to go into the oven at 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. I'm doing 2 types of sausage today. We have pork chorizo And then this is something that I get local. It's by a company called Nice's, and it's a Southern style country sausage, but I love this one because it has sage in it, and I love sage. And this is really going to be that flavor component for the cornbread stuffing. Okay, to a large saute pan, I'm going to add some oil. Okay, then we're going to add a basic mirepoix, which is onions, carrots, and celery. Okay, I'm gonna make a well in the middle because I want to add my sausage as well, that country sausage and the chorizo, and we'll just begin to break that up. I'm gonna add about 4 cloves of garlic. I have here some diced jalapenos, give it a nice little spice. Then I have some oregano, sage, thyme, and rosemary. I just chopped it up. I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of salt, as well as some cracked black pepper. Stir that around. Okay, so here's my finished cornbread. It's nice and cooked through, and I'm just going to cut it into like cubes. And because I don't have a big enough bowl, I'm going to spread this into 2 pans so that I can work with it. Okay, then I'm going to add that sausage and vegetable mix. Hit this with a little bit of chicken stock just to moisten it up a little bit. I'm also adding an egg to each pan, as well as some fresh cut parsley. And I have this Swiss cheese and Gruyere. You can use cheddar if you want, mozzarella, but I like a nice funky cheese. Okay, next step is just to get in there and mix it all up. Now we're going to transfer this to our serving dish. Okay, and here we have our finished sweet potatoes. They are cooked all the way through. I scoop them out and then I reduce that glaze so that it gets nice and thick. And we're just going to pour that glaze right over those potatoes. Okay, and here we have our finished product, and it's taken everything within me not to just dig in right now. But I prepared this a week ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until it cools down completely. Then we're going to wrap it very well and place it in the freezer. Then Thanksgiving morning, allow it to defrost at room temperature and then reheat it in the oven. You can garnish the stuffing with some extra cheese and some parsley. And then to these candied yams, if you want to go extra decadent, top it off with some marshmallows. And here's our salute to a stress-free Thanksgiving with my 2 favorite sides made a week ahead. And let me tell you, it is sabroso.
If you like this video, click the recipe tab in the video description, which will take you to our recipe page on Provecho, where you'll get a printer-ready format of the recipe that links directly to Instacart, so you can shop for all the ingredients instantly. You can also follow along with the video as you make something sabroso.
Todo queda sabroso.